G'day, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Star Quest.
All right, and yes, today we've got an interesting contradiction today, and it starts with where is my thing here? Yes, we've got an interesting contradiction because, well, there are 439 of these things, and people are saying there are contradictions in the Bible. Now, I don't want to use the word debunking, because I find this is more fascinating with investigating and trying to find out. And I find out that all of these contradictions, there's more to the story, there's more to everything, and it doesn't seem like there are any contradictions, or if they are, they're different numbers in different spots, and really of the story of the Bible, who cares? But let's investigate them one at a time.
Absolutely. By exploring them one by one, we can uncover deeper meanings and insights within the Bible's narrative. So, what's today's investigation?
Well, my name is Craig, and this is Cosmo, and this is your journey through the Bible, one question at a time. And I find this absolutely fascinating, and we're just going to get into this first question here. What tribe was Aijalon from? So who is Aijalon?
Aijalon is actually a city, not a person. In the Bible, Aijalon is mentioned as being allocated to different tribes in different books, leading to some confusion. In Joshua, it's assigned to the tribe of Dan, but in 1 Chronicles, it's linked with the tribe of Ephraim. So, which tribe was Aijalon from? It seems to depend on the time and context within the biblical narrative.
All right, just
Let's
one
delve
sec.
into how these...
All right.
Sure thing.
You seem to be jumping in way too soon. We'll just slow it down a bit, because all the people listening are probably thinking, what is he even talking about? So let's just back it up a bit. Joshua 21, 23 to 24. Can you just go over that, please?
Absolutely. Let's take it step by step. In Joshua 21, 23 to 24, the city of Aijalon is mentioned as part of the allotment given to the Levites from the tribe of Dan. This means it was a Levitical city within Dan's territory. It's one piece of the larger picture of how the land was divided among the tribes of Israel. Does that help set the stage?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So,
ready when you are.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll go into 1 Chronicles 6, 66 and 69. What's the difference between that and Joshua?
In 1 Chronicles 6, 66 and 69, Aijalon is listed among the cities within the territory of the tribe of Ephraim that were given to the Levites. This contrasts with Joshua, where Aijalon is part of the territory of Dan. It seems we have the same city, Aijalon, associated with two different tribes.
All right, I have a question.
This could be...
Here is a question. So Joshua, when that was written, and when First Chronicles was written, and keep your answers short, but how many years are we talking?
Joshua was written around the 14th to 13th century BCE, while First Chronicles was compiled much later, around the 5th century BCE. So there's a gap of roughly 800 to 900 years between them.
Wow, that's a lot of time. And First Chronicles is really still talking about the era of Joshua originally, but it is still 800 years later.
Exactly. It's reflecting back on that earlier period from a much later time. First Chronicles offers a retrospective view, recounting and sometimes reinterpreting the events and tribal allocations of Joshua's era.
I have another question here. And you're saying reinterpreting, and I'm all about, different books of the Bible are written for different audiences. Is Joshua written for a slightly different audience or a different meaning than First Chronicles?
Yes, exactly. Joshua focuses on the conquest and settlement of the Promised Land, emphasizing God's faithfulness to Israel. It's more of a historical account, with a narrative aimed at the Israelites entering Canaan. First Chronicles, however, was written for a post-exilic audience, offering a theological reflection on Israel's history, emphasizing themes like the Davidic line and proper worship in the temple.
Actually, just one
So,
sec.
the
One
audience,
sec. You said post Ezek. I don't even know what that word is. Can you just describe what that is? Because you're using too big a language for me. And yeah, if you can just explain that.
of course, post-exilic refers to the period after the Israelites returned from exile in Babylon. It's a time when they were rebuilding their community and reflecting on their history. So, First Chronicles was written for those returning from that exile, helping them reconnect with their heritage.
So for over those 800 years between those two things written, there would have been a lot of shifting and moving and things getting lost and maybe trying to refind and really at the end of the day
Yeah,
does it really matter?
it makes well, the differences don't necessarily undermine the Bible's message. Instead, they highlight the richness and complexity of its history. Understanding the context can deepen our appreciation, but it doesn't change the core teachings or spiritual truths. It's more about enriching our journey through the Bible.
And that's it. I find that the story of the Bible is about mankind's fall from grace from the Garden of Eden and then God trying to get back to us, restore that perfection back again, and it can only be done with Jesus. So the whole story of the Old Testament is talks about Jesus and the need of Jesus and the need of Messiah. And then the New Testament is him actually being here. So, and actually doing what he said he was going to do in the Old Testament. That's the story of the Bible. That's no contradiction whatsoever. The fact that there's this shifting, like tribe of Aijalon is from Dan or it's from somebody else 800 years ago later, does it really matter? I don't think it does. Thank you so much for journeying me with through the Bible, and I want to do more of these. There are 439 of these contradictions, and each one of them is just like this. It is so interesting though, because it's like a Bible study, and I just want to get into more of that. So go do something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in the next one.